Hi everyone, this is Nicole Jewell with a flexibility routine for runners. I've put this series together. It's a yoga-inspired routine. It's about 20 minutes long, and here we go. I have Emma and Kendall with me behind me, and we'll get started. So we're gonna start on our mat. If you don't have a mat, you can do it on the floor. Just make sure you're bare feet. Okay, so we're gonna start with those feet hip distance, right underneath our hips. And let's release those hands down. Let's turn those palms forward just to open up the chest and shoulders. And we're gonna inhale and exhale here a few times. So when we're breathing, we wanna make sure that we're inhaling deeply into the belly, sides and back of the ribs, making sure the chest stays relaxed. And then exhaling out through the nose. Good, one more time, and then we'll add some arm movements here. Again, grounding down through all four corners of those feet. This time, inhale, reach those arms all the way up towards the sky, and then exhale, release those arms down. Good, and again, inhale, tall spine, reach those arms, good, very nice ladies, and exhale, release. Good. From here, on the next inhale, bring those arms all the way up above the head, and if you can, interlace the fingers. Good, and let's bring the pointer finger up towards the tree and tuck those thumbs, good. Now from here, can we reach those arms a little bit taller? Good, ground down through both feet. On the exhale, let's stretch over towards the right side, so towards me. And again, keep both feet grounded into the ground, making sure our weight is still centered here. So here we're opening the space in the side of the body, and let's just breathe into that space. Keep that head in line with the spine here. And if you're taking care of your shoulders, you can always release the grip and bring those arms shoulder distance. Take one more inhale here. On the exhale, bring the arms straight up. And let's release those arms down. Good, do one shoulder roll back. Very nice, we'll do the same thing on the other side. Inhale, reach. Interlace those hands. Good, release all the way up towards the tree on the next inhale. On the exhale, stretch up and over towards our left side. So making sure that the shoulders and the hips stay square forward. And again, you're still grounding down with both feet, all four corners. Good, just breathing into the space. Very nice, head stays in between those arms. One more inhale here. On the exhale, reach those arms all the way back up and release those arms down. Let's do another shoulder roll just to relieve some tension there. All right, so this next one, you can use a towel or a strap. If not, we're gonna go ahead and bring those hands behind the hips. Now sometimes when we do this, our tailbone has a tendency to come up, so let's make sure that we ground down that tailbone, so lengthen it down towards the floor. Now if you can, bring the hands interlace, and if you can press those palms of the hands together, that would be nice, keeping the wrists straight. What we don't want is the wrist to come out of neutral alignment, okay? All right, from here, reach those arms to your potential, open the chest and shoulders, sitting up nice and tall. So from here, Emma, I'm gonna have you release the grip and just keep the hands pressing towards each other. Yes, good. And then if you can straighten the elbows and lower the hands towards your glutes a little bit, yes. Very nice. So we're gonna breathe into this, opening up the chest and shoulders here. Good, one more inhale. Exhale, slowly release those arms, and again, roll the shoulders back. Good. From here, we're gonna inhale, reach those arms high again. Now on the exhale, bring the hands through your chest, palms touching, and we're gonna take it down to a forward fold. So you may need a block for this. Bend those knees, we wanna hinge at the hips, and let's make sure those knees are in line with the second toes, you guys. Good. So you may need a block to place and rest your hands. If your hands don't make it down towards the ground, then go ahead and use a block. Good, let's release the head down a little bit once you're there. We want to make sure there's no pressure in the low back, so if there is, really make sure you bend the knees. Use a prop if you need to. Good, one more inhale, exhale here. Kendall's option is to fold the arms. Now once you're there, you can also go ahead and extend the legs a little bit, so opening up the back side of the body more. Good, one more inhale, exhale. On the next inhale, place the hands on the shins. Good, now Emma, let's reach to the top of the head, reach the chest proud, lengthen the tailbone back, keep the knees bent. Weight is gonna be towards the balls of the feet. Very nice. Kendall, bring your chin towards your chest a little bit, and then lengthen the chest forward. There you go, good. Nice long spine, we'll iron out that back. One more inhale here. On the exhale, let's drop the hands down and step back onto all fours. Good. From here, let's take a couple inhales and exhales here. Soften the elbows a little bit, Kendall. Connecting those abdominals, really ground down in the hands to engage the muscles around the ribs. And then from here, we'll go ahead into a wide child's pose. So open the knees out the width of your mat, toes to touch. So here, we're just gonna take a moment to take a couple inhales and exhales. You can even exhale out through the mouth through this. Knees are out wide, open up the hips. Breathe into that space. Head can rest on your mats, arms reaching. And then one more inhale, let's open mouth, exhale. And then slowly come up to all fours. Good, knees under hips. And from here, let's take those hands out a little bit further out in front of us. And we're gonna transition into a downward facing dog. So I'll inhale first, exhale, curl those toes, and then shift your weight back towards your heels. Good, so in this position, there's a couple points that I wanna make. You wanna make sure you have a nice long spine. Hands are grounded between the thumb and the fingers. Tailbone is lengthened up towards the sky. Good, but really pressing down into those hands. Head between the biceps, knees can stay bent. Good, from here, let's inhale that right leg high, keeping the hips square to our mat. On the exhale, use those abdominals, bring the knee in towards your chest as you pull that foot in between the hands and set down the back knee. So here you may have to pad the knee, maybe double the mat up, maybe put a towel or something. This is gonna be another hip opener. So from here, square off the shoulders and the hips towards that front foot. Make sure the knee is above the ankle. On the next inhale, let's lift those arms up high. Good. On the exhale, we're gonna stretch up and over towards that right knee side. And release that right arm towards the ground. Good. Stretching up and over. So here we're creating some space in the side of the body. Breathing into that space. So depending on your range of motion in the hips, you may need to bring that knee a little bit further forward or a little bit further back and drop those hips a little bit. Good, take one more inhale here. On the exhale, come up tall and release those hands on either side of the foot, and let's shoot back into that one leg down dog again. Use those abdominals, help you reach back and place that foot down. Take a moment, shift your weight on either side, maybe pedal the feet here, depending on how your legs are feeling. And let's go to the other side. Here we go. Inhale, left leg high. Square off those hips. Equal weight in those hands. Bring that knee to the chest on the exhale, and then bring the foot in between the hands. Good. Again, set up same thing on the other side. Square off those hips, front knee above that ankle. Good, nice tall spine. And you may have to drop the tailbone a little bit if you're feeling any pressure in your low back. So lengthen that tailbone down a little bit. Here we go. Inhale, reach those arms up towards the sky. Exhale, this time up and over towards the left knee and release that left arm. So it's important that we reach up before we reach over. Good. Creating nice space in that torso. One more inhale here. Exhale, reach up that arm tall. Bring those hands down on either sides and shoot back to that one leg down dog again, one last time. And then drop that foot, do a couple pedals of the feet. Very nice. From here, let's transition into plank pose. Ground down the hands and the feet. Make sure we keep a slight bend in those elbows. And then slowly lower all the way down towards our mats. Very nice, nice and controlled. So from here, we're gonna go into what we call Sphinx pose. So it's similar to a cobra if you're familiar with that. So the hands are gonna be out in front of you. Elbows about shoulders distance away. If you're taking care of your back, you may want to bring those arms a little bit further away from your chest. And we'll separate the feet a little bit to give some space for that pelvis. Good, from here you're going to ground down into the forearms and the hands. Open up the chest. Good, engage the glutes so that we can keep the tailbone down towards the feet rather than up towards the sky. And open up the chest. Breathe into this space. This is a nice good stretch for the front side of the body. We'll inhale and exhale here 2 more times. With every inhale, let's think of creating length. With every exhale, keeping that position, maybe drawing the elbows towards the ribs without moving them. Good, one more inhale here. On the exhale, let's just come down to a prone corpse position. So just release down all the way to the ground. Release those hands. Good. This next position, a little bit more in the quadriceps. So from here, let's go ahead and bring that right arm in front of our body, similar to the Sphinx pose, but this time the elbow's gonna be slightly out towards the side. Good. From here, go ahead and bring that left foot up towards the sky, bending at the knee. Good. And then let's flex the toes. Give some engagement to the front side of that lower part of the leg. All right, from here, go ahead and prop yourself up. Similar position as in Sphinx pose, ladies. Good. Really ground down that forearm, making sure that we keep the chin close towards our chest, relieving any pressure in the back, and the back of the neck, I should say. And then reach that left arm around to the ankle. So this is maybe where a towel or a strap may work and help you get a little bit deeper into this position. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna pull that ankle foot away from the hand. You don't have to lift that knee too high. Maybe drop the knee a little bit more, Emma. Good. And then trying to create some open space in the front side of that thigh. Good. Taking one more inhale here. Exhale, slowly release down to that prone corpse, and then looking the opposite way. Just rest for a moment. Release tension in that torso. And then we'll slowly repeat on the other side. So let's go ahead and transition. Left arm this time. Good. Ground down in that left arm. So we're really creating stability in the shoulder here. And then let's go ahead and bring that right knee, the right ankle towards the hips, flexing the toes. Good. Grounding down into that left arm. Engage the glutes, support that back. Grab that right ankle with those hands. And then we want to make sure the knee stays in line with the hips, which they're doing. That's really nice. And then Kendall, just drop your chin a little bit without lowering the torso. So the other thing with these poses is making sure that not only we're breathing properly, big inhale through the nose, big exhale through the nose, calming our mind and our nervous system, but we want to make sure we have good posture. Good, taking one more inhale here, open the front of those hips, and then exhale, slowly lower down to that prone corpse. Good, from here, bring those hands by our chest, palms down. On the next inhale, next exhale, push up and back, and let's just do a child's pose here. Open up the knees wide, toes to touch. Good, we did some opening for the front. Let's just open the hips here, release some tension in the back. Okay, from here, let's go to all fours, and then we're gonna transition onto our back for the last portion of the series. So we'll start with our knees bent, our feet placed, hip distance apart. And then let's go ahead and bring the right knee in towards our chest, hands underneath the hamstrings here. And just give a couple motion directions, right and left with the hip. Hands can either be underneath the hamstrings or on top of the shins. Good. From here, let's go ahead and pull those toes in towards the knee to support the knee before we move on. All right, and then right knee comes out towards the side, and we're gonna cross that right ankle over the left thigh here. So you've probably seen this before, figure 4 stretch, or similar to a reclined pigeon. You can choose to stay here if you like a little bit more sensation in the hips. We're gonna go ahead and reach through underneath that left thigh and bring that knee off the chest. Now, you wanna make sure the tailbone stays and remains on the ground here, making sure the pelvis stays in a neutral position. So really grounding down the tailbone here. So here, what you're trying to do is you're trying to pull that knee in as you're pressing away with that foot. Good. And then if you'd like a little bit more sensation, you can always open up that right knee a little bit more. And then breathing into the space in those hips. So we'll do this one more time. Inhale deeply. And then exhale, let's slowly release that left foot towards the mat. Release that right foot. Good. Shake it out if you need to. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. So we'll start with that left knee to the chest this time. So reaching those hands either on top of the shin or below or underneath the hamstrings. Couple movements at the hip if you feel like you need that. Good. Release that head and neck. Make sure it's relaxed on your mat. All right, from here, same thing. Pull those toes in towards the shins. Open up that left knee. cross that left ankle over the thigh. And we want to make sure that the ankle isn't rotating in, so really pull those toes in, keep that ankle supported and the knee supported, and then go ahead and transition. Lift that foot off of the knee. So we're creating space in the hips here, really getting into that glute area, but making sure that we maintain a nice neutral position of the pelvis. So inhale and exhale here. So if you notice, the girls have both feet activated. It's really nice to work on engaging the muscles in the front of the shin, help with running. Good, take one more inhale here. On the exhale, slowly lower that foot down. Good, maybe shake out those legs a little bit. All right, next we're gonna place the soles of the feet together. And then we're just gonna let gravity help us here and let the knees open. If you're finding that maybe your knees aren't fully opening, that's okay. Go to what feels good for you. We're opening up the hips here. You may need to prop the knees up with some blocks or towels or something if you're noticing any tension in the low back. So let's inhale and exhale here. And it's nice if you place the hands on the belly just to bring yourself back to your breath. So big inhale through the nose, big exhale through the nose. Taking one more inhale here. Now on the exhale, let's use those hands to bring the knees back up towards the sky. And now this time, we're gonna take the feet to the outsides of the mat and let the knees draw inward. So now we're stretching the inner part of the hip. If you're feeling any tension in that low back, find a position for your feet that feels good, where you're feeling that stretch on the inside of the thighs. The hands can come to the belly again. Good, take one more inhale here. Exhale, slowly bring those knees back in hips distance and feet underneath. Good, so here we're gonna do a bound spinal twist. So I'm gonna have you guys cross the right foot, or I should say the right leg over the left knee. So really keep those knees stacked here. And then bring those arms out to a T, palms up. Ground down the shoulder blades here. And now what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be twisting over towards me. So I'm gonna have you shift your weight towards the left side of your mat before we do that to make sure the spine stays aligned. On the next exhale, I'd like you to reach that right knee towards me. Good. And then just make sure that you keep the shoulder blades grounded the best you can. And then just creating that space in the side of the torso. So breathe into that space. Good, inhale and exhale here. And you can also look the opposite way that you're twisting to. So if you'd like a little bit more sensation in the neck area, you can do that too. Take one more inhale here. Exhale, use those abdominals to bring those knees back up. Uncross the legs, and we'll go the same thing on the other side. Good. Left knee on top of right. Shift your weight now over towards the right side of your mat. Good. All right, and then slowly bring that knee towards the left side of your mat. Good, let's really ground down the shoulder blades here. Looking the opposite way if you choose, feeling an opening in the side of your torso there. Good, so purposeful position with those arms, maybe spread out the fingers here. Good, one more inhale here. On the exhale, slowly bring the knees back up, and then place the feet back hip distance. Good, knees in line with the hips. This time we're gonna bring the palms down by the hips here, go into a shoulder bridge position. On the next inhale, grounding down to those feet, lift those hips off of the mat. Now in this position, sometimes we have a tendency to lift up a little bit high, so you wanna maybe make sure that you're not feeling any tension in the low back, and it's more feeling in the backs of the hamstrings, the glutes, and then openness in the front side of the body. So we're stretching the front side of the body, but we're also getting some glute and hamstring work here. Now option, I'm gonna have Kendall interlace her hands here for a chest expansion. So she's gonna bring the shoulder blades underneath her, interlace the hands. So if this is available to you, this is an option. Again, big inhale into the belly, sides and back of the ribs, exhale, release. We'll do one more breath pattern here. Good, on the next exhale, Kendall, just wiggle those shoulder blades out from underneath you. And then both of you guys slowly articulate that spine one vertebrae at a time back down. Good. Bring the knees back into your chest and let's just rock from side to side, forward and back a couple times. And then we'll finish with a relaxation position in corpse pose. So relax those legs, those arms. Palms can be up or down or on your belly, whatever feels good. And we're just going to take a couple minutes here just to breathe naturally, inhaling and exhaling through the nose. And you can stay here as long as you like, or a couple minutes if that's all you have. So there you have it. There is a 20-minute flexibility routine that you can do after your running routine. And thank you so much for watching.